Howdy everybody, I'm on it. How you going? And listen, I'm going to teach you something here. Who knows anything about physics? Who knows anything about leverage? Alright, now, you know when you get a golf club and you swing it and you hit a ball and it takes off like a rocket? But if you get your hand, you can only throw the golf ball so far, can't you? I think you're getting the idea. You pick up a golf ball, you throw it by your hand, it goes a couple of metres or a couple of yards. But if you get a golf ball and you use a club and you swing it, it'll go a long way down the fairway. Now, this little Aboriginal guy here, can you see there's two sticks? Now, one stick is a spear, and the other one is the extension. Yeah, it's like a golf club. You have a look. Now, let's just play this little video a little bit. You know, just take it back a fraction, and here we go.
It's a new experience for most of these men. They'll have to adapt, and it'll probably take a couple of days for the ice to break. But once things get underway...
Right, so these are Australian Army troops learning off Aboriginals in the northern Queensland area how to survive. And they're not allowed to use any of their army tools. They're going to live off the land, purely and utterly. And they're entrusted there with the Aboriginal people.
I'll be leaving them here to learn and fend for themselves.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And hang on to the spear. Yeah. That's multi-purpose.
See, so the top one was a lever and the bottom one was a spear. And he said, oh, like a multi-purpose. You watch what happens.
These blokes have got it pretty easy. They're getting handed about 40,000 years of experience. But the first Europeans to come aboard this part of the world, and we're on the western side of Cape York Peninsula, didn't appreciate what the Aboriginals had to offer.
Now he's out there in a boat and they're going to go spear fishing for a stingray. Now watch his hand. See?
Where are you heading? Oh, look at that blue ring, eh? Oh, get him. Look.
Now this is a very small version of the stingray that killed Steve Irwin. But there's another point to this video and I'll come back to it. So a stingray here actually has two barbs. Have a listen to this.
Once they're fine, the blue rings all over them. Yeah. There's that needle. You got two needles this far. Yeah, 1, 2. You cook him up? Looks a beauty, doesn't he?
Right, now what happens is, there's two barbs. There's one halfway down the tail, which is on the top, and the other one's right on the very end of the tail. But the big one got Steve Irwin was a massive, great big deep sea one. But anyway, now the cure for stingray poison is this thing now, you're not going to believe, is another poison. Another poison to kill the poison of a stingray. And the plant that it comes from is even found here in the city of Sydney and Brisbane and Melbourne. And it can actually cure a stingray toxin that can give you a heart attack. So isn't that an interesting point? Now I'll show you the plant.
Not only do the animals and the insects give you a hard time in the mangroves, but sometimes the plants do as well. And this is one of those nasty little fellows that you've got to be quite careful of. See that little white sap on end there? That's called milky mangrove or blind your eye mangrove. And if you get that in your eye, you'll go blind. However, Aboriginal people, get that out of the way for a minute, found a redeeming feature about this fella. They found that if they put that sap into a stingray sting, it could cure the sting. Of course, to get a stingray, you've got to first get yourself a boat. And here is from a canoe. The people here became very skillful at building dugout canoes made from local trees. But of all the trees around here, there was only one type that they used, a very special tree called a bombax. And they're quite rare, not easy to find. This is a real beauty. In fact, Aboriginal people used to prize these trees so much that they used to, here it is here, put a big blaze across the trunk. And that would mean personal ownership of the tree. So that, and turn it into a canoe.
And that's how they got this canoe. Well, it's just a little bit of something I put together, so I hope you enjoyed that, Mr. Hominoid. Now, if you actually want to watch this whole TV show, it's actually called Soldiers Learn Survival from the Aurukun traditional owners. Now, that's Aurukun is the spelling, but it's on the Bush Tucker Man, which is obviously BUSHTUCKERMAN, Series 1, Episode 8 on the ABC Australian TV program on YouTube. So if you want to go down and watch it, very fascinating. And like one day I said to my friend there, Jack, I said, absolutely fascinating. And that was to do with the birth of a kangaroo. But anyway, so from Fascinating Mr. Hominoid from Australia, and this is from the Aurukun people, which is up the top end of the Cape York, right up the very top of Australia on the west side of the tip. Yeah, I hope you go watch the show there yourself. Bush Tucker Man. Go and watch him. He's out there on YouTube. It costs you nothing. See you later, Mr. Hominoid.